Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Dustin Goodwin Show on WGOL. The Coach Dustin Goodwin Show is sponsored by Russellville Mayor David Grissom. My name is Caden Pounders, and I am joined by the head coach of the Golden Tigers, Dustin Goodwin. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Coach, let's first talk about last week's game against Fairview. Then ranked number 3, I think ranked number 4 this week. Tough game. Ended up following that game 35-28 in a close one. Give me your thoughts. You guys opened the scoring in that game, went up, and then at halftime it was tied 14-14. What were your thoughts on how you guys started in that game?
Well, I was really proud of our team. Thought they came into the contest really focused, ready to play, and started fast. Scored first and against a good football team, and went into halftime 14-14. Thought it had a chance to be 21-7 us. With we gave up a trick play on fourth down at midfield that would have gotten them off the field, and then got a tough holding call on the 2-yard line that kept us from scoring that third touchdown, and ultimately missed a field goal on that drive. And we told our kids at halftime we knew they were going to get challenged to run the football better in the second half, and the exception of probably 2 plays that they busted, I thought it was a real physical fight up front that our defense did a good job of holding them to minimal gains, and seemed like every play they'd gain 3 or 4 yards and get into a 3rd and short or a 4th and short and find a way to get a yard or right at the down marker. And I think we had them in 4th and 3rd and short probably 14 times over the night, and got a big back. He's 6'2", 225 pounds, and runs well and falls forward well, and was able to get some first downs. But really proud of the fight of our kids. We were down 2 scores late, and did a good job of keeping ourselves in it and finding a way to score. And scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter was huge for us, and gave us a chance to get an onside kick and tie the game up late. So overall, I was proud of our kids. We're disappointed that we lost the game, and looking forward to getting that taste out of our mouth and playing well tonight.
Despite the loss, you guys on offense, especially, still had a big night. I think close to 500 or over 500 yards of total offense in that game. Despite the loss, that's one takeaway. But what are some of the other takeaways from that game that you think are positives that you can reflect on and maybe pass along to your team?
Yeah, the total yardage thing. We actually outgained Fairview. We had 450 or more yards, and I think they had 340 or something like that. But ultimately, they were around 100 yards passing and over 238 or right at 238 rushing, and we know that we've got to tackle well and get the ball back and that sort of thing. And but I do think that our defense made Fairview earn their drives and possessions and scores, and and there's the drive that we gave up right before halftime and then ended up in a missed field goal. If we capitalize on that, then it could change the outcome of the game as well. And so just taking on the good things that we did. There's not a lot of people that gave us a shot in that game based on our youth and the 2 games we dropped earlier in the season. But I do think that these kids continue to fight and care about each other and do things the right way, and they're invested in what we're trying to get them to do, and they're continually improving each week, and I think you can see it if you watch the games.
Yeah, talked about it a little bit just now. After halftime, you guys went down by 2 scores. I think Fairview scored, you guys punted, and then they scored again, so you're down 28-14 there in the third quarter, heading into the fourth. As we've talked about all year, this is a young team. And probably in a lot of situations, different teams may, say that, hey, we're done, against the number 3 team in the state, we're toasted, but you guys didn't do that. What does that say about the character of these mostly young kids that are out there on the football field?
Yeah, I thought Fairview came out, like you said, and did a good job of playing keep away from us, and I think we had 1 or 2 possessions. I think it was just 1 possession in the third quarter that was probably our worst possession of the game. We had a couple mental busts there, and should have gotten a roughing the kicker penalty that would have kept 1 drive alive, but didn't. And those things happen. But like you said, having young kids and then had them having the resiliency to keep fighting, that's special, and it's sort of uncommon. And that's one thing we tell our kids. It's not over till it's over, and our job is to keep fighting, not paying attention to the scoreboard, no matter if it's good or bad. And So we're really proud of our kids for their continued effort and like I said, able to score 14 in the fourth quarter and give us a chance to win the football game.
All right, Coach. Is there anything else you want to add about that Fairview game? All right. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get Coach Goodwin's thoughts on tonight's road contest at Class 4A Hatton. You're listening to the Coach Dustin Goodwin Show, sponsored by Russellville Mayor David Grissom. We'll be right back here on WGOL. Welcome back to the Coach Dustin Goodwin Show, presented by Russellville Mayor David Grissom. Coach, you guys are heading into a non-region game on the road at Hatton this week. Russell got a big win over Hatton at home last season. This one's on the road. Hatton has a new coach this year. And I think you talked about they've had some different coordinators in that team over the course of this year. What are you guys expecting from Hatton in this game, and how do you guys plan on attacking them?
Well, I mean, they're really athletic. They've had a couple of guys move in from Decatur Heritage, I think, that play good ball. Real speedy at receiver, like to take deep shots. A back that runs the ball angrily, and a quarterback that's getting better at throwing it. He's throwing it really well right now, and he's always been a really good runner. So our defense has to come to play, make them earn everything they get, and not give anything cheap. Offensively, being that they're on their third coordinator this year, we're really not sure what to expect. Know that they are athletic on that side of the ball as well, so we'll probably get some man coverage and get a lot of pressures up front. So we've got to be ready and able to handle those things as well.
Last week against Fairview, and I hope this is the case, and I'm not making a fool of myself, but it seems like you guys were really intent on running the football and establishing a run game, especially in the first half against Fairview. Are there any points of emphasis against Hatton this week? Maybe just things you guys want to work on in a non-region game to get ready for the next couple of region games? Anything like that?
Well, ultimately, we just want to play really clean, on both sides of the ball. We want to align properly and tackle the football defense, and like I said, not give up anything. No explosive plays there. And offensively, we want to continue to do what we've been doing really the last few weeks, and that's be efficient, make good decisions, take care of the football, and score as many points as possible. So.
I know there have been a few knocks throughout the season, and going into this one, is there any injury news you can relay about some of the guys that maybe be coming back, or some guys that might be out this game?
Well, we had a couple of guys out last week, and unfortunately after last week's game, we have one or two more that one's out and one potentially could be. We're going to see how he does, and being that it's a non-region game, obviously we want to win the game and play well, but the guys that started that game didn't finish it, so we've got to have guys step up and fill those roles and play at a high level.
Last road game until the regular season finale at Athens, week 10. Next week's homecoming. You guys are coming off a close loss to a really good football team last week, and I know, like you said, winning is what you want to do every week. But how important is it, for tonight for you guys to get back into the win column and, like you said earlier, get that bad taste out of your mouth? Well,
everybody likes winning, and the difference is not everybody hates losing, but here we do. We're ready to get back out there and get the opportunity to compete again. Hopefully our fans travel well, and not a big stadium, so I hope they show up early, and if they don't have a place to sit, stand, or sit in lawn chairs, but really looking forward to tonight and watching our kids compete again.
Lastly, Coach, don't want to jump too far ahead, so we won't talk about the next game or anything. But next week you guys will be back here, and this might be the last opportunity for some people to hear you before next Friday. So, is there anything you want fans to know ahead of next week's home game?
Well, I mean, it's just important that our kids see a lot of people in the bleachers, and we want football to be big in Russellville, and then our players feed off that energy. So the more people can come out and support the team, the better and more excited our kids are through 4 quarters or more, and just grateful for the opportunity to get to do it.
All right, Coach. Anything else you want to add about the Hatton game?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thanks for your time, Coach, and good luck tonight against Hatton.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We hope you'll join us here again next week on WGOL at the same time. You've been listening to the Coach Dustin Goodwin Show, sponsored by Russellville Mayor David Grissom. Good night.